All right, guys, let's check out the 2021 King Turtle Padi Special Edition. This was loaned in by Mimo from Mimo's Jewelry. This is the srpg19, retail price of $625. It's a lot of money, I get it. You're not going to pay $625. You're going to get a discount. Use ROB25 in the discount code. You're going to get a deal on it. This is using the caliber 4R36 movement, 41-hour power reserve. Beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. So you can see the sweep of the second hand there. That's kind of like ticks. They tick so many times in between each second, but it makes it look like it's a sweep. Not quite as fast as a 4 hertz movement that you're going to see on a lot of the higher end watches, but this is the way Seiko does it. Sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside. And of course you have the candy bar day date magnifier on there. So that's kind of fun. Interesting colorway. We'll do some zoom in and take a look at that as well. But let's get into the case size. 45 millimeter case on these turtles. 47.9 lug to lug, drilled lugs. You can see cushion case. 7 millimeter oversized crown. That'll work really good. Thickness about 13.25 millimeter. If you look closely here, you can see the sapphire crystal actually sits just below the ceramic bezel insert. And then the day-date candy bar magnifier there sits just slightly proud of all of that. 22 millimeter lug width here. The bracelet does taper down to 20. You're going to have a pin and collar system here for sizing. It might be a little intimidating the first time you try to size one of these, but it's really not that bad. Let's see. Stamped clasp, 4 micro adjust. Craig, you'll be happy about that. Keeps a nice thin profile. You do have the dive extension over here on the left side versus over on this side like most watches. I would be fine if the dive extension would go away or be revamped or something, but to keep their ISO certification that they carry with a lot of these 200 meter water depth rating divers, you have to have a dive extension to get those ISO ratings. So they already have this, and that's the system they've chose to go with. I think it's time Seiko redoes the clasp, if we're being straight up. At least give us the milled and then incorporate some sort of dive extension on this side or a quick adjust and ditch. They could innovate. They could do something different. I guarantee it. I was just, kind of told that I should not be as accepting as I am of misaligned bezels. Well, the bezel lines up, it looks like, but if we zoom in on this, you can see the inner chapter is definitely off, and it's set to the left a little bit. That's something that they need to fix. I agree with you guys, but I've essentially moved on because they're not going to, apparently, and I don't know that they really care that we care as much as we do. So what are you going to do, right? So, but check out this dial on this. That's a really, really deep, deep engraving on that dial. And then you have the applied looking indices. They're not actually applied. If you can get a close look in there, they're actually pressed in from the bottom side of the dial. But it's done so well and so clean that they do look like applied indices. And there's some other brands that do it this way as well. They get a nice consistent dial in doing it this way. I'm a huge fan of this colorway, the all black with the baby blue, both on the bezel insert and the minute hand there. I have not handled the watch with this particular colorway or combination, and I like it. It's nice. It combines a little bit of softness to a masculine type watch, I guess. Nice case finishing on this, and then of course the King Turtles, they have this, I think, kind of upgraded bezel. It has nice deep grooves in it, and it's plenty of traction to rotate the 120 click bezel. So if we zoom back out, you'll see here typical Seiko bezel action, very clean and consistent all the way through its range, and lines up. It's hard to tell that it lines up because the inner chaptering doesn't line up. And that's not something you can fix. You have to like pop the crystal out to line that up and then press the crystal back in. So there's ways you can fix it, but that's more difficult to fix. So that's kind of a bummer. Now, if you look at the case back, yes, it has the blue sticker on. I don't peel these off when they're not my watch. Can we see it there? It says special edition, not limited edition. Seiko, when they do their special edition, that means that this watch is going to be made for like a short run, essentially. So it's special edition is kind of like limited edition. It's just not numbered, because after they're done with the series of the Padi King Turtle for 2021, they won't make this watch again. Could they? Yes, they could, because it isn't a limited edition. But in the past, history has shown us that they won't. So what we have is what we have. In a lot of cases, the special edition ones actually become more sought after than even some of the limited editions. If you are a Seikoholic, like a lot of us are, and you can research that and find that out. Here it is next to the Seiko SKX. So you can see the turtles are much larger, but the guts of the turtles will fit into SKX cases. Stainless steel ones, titanium ones, or whatever you can find, they're almost direct swaps. There's a few other things you have to do, but you can swap them over. And there are some more cool looking turtles like this one that, trust me, I'm tempted to harvest the guts, but I'm not going to. Those days are over. I did my span of turtle killing, and I'm not going to do that anymore. Besides, this colorway looks really good. I like this one. So, all right, let me pop this on wrist real quick, and then we'll close out with a Lume shot. Now, it's not sized or anything like that, because like I said, it's a brand new watch, and it's Mimo's watch. And so there you go. That's what it looks like on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Turtles work for a lot of people. And if you have a 7 1/4, whatever wrist, a turtle's going to look and wear and feel fine on wrist. They feel very comfortable with the cushion case, and like most Seiko divers, so you're not going to have a problem there. All right, let's kill the lights and check the Lume. Seiko Lume Bright usually doesn't disappoint. I don't think it will. Yeah, there we go. Now the bezel's not loomed other than the pip, but the hour and minute hand, the second hand lollipop, and then of course the indices are all loomed out very bright. Here it is in comparison to an old SKX009. I kind of feel like they're not as bright as some of the previous models. They're still crazy bright, but if you have an old SKX or a Monster or something like that, you know, earlier first, second gen, third gen even, I feel like some of these newer Seiko models are still super bright, but their indices are like not as bright as they should be, I guess. But regardless, it's still crazy bright. You're still going to get that phenomenal Seiko Lume. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next vid.